And I see her run to her teacher and give her a hug. And I'm like, okay, I guess you don't have a mother anymore. And I literally, like, I was happy in the moment. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been praying for. This is what I wanted. I'm so glad she's finally, like, happy to go and to learn and everything. And then I got home and I started crying. And I was telling my husband, like, does she love her teacher more than me now? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about mom guilt, how it shows up, what that could look like, what that feels like, and most importantly, what to do about it. So the other day I was talking to a friend and he was telling me about his wife and how she struggles with mom guilt and how she wants to show up for her kids, but then she's also super tired at night and she's stressed out and exhausted. And I could relate so much being a mom myself of how you're just always on the grind being a mom, how you're always trying to show up as your best self, but you're also very tired, exhausted, anxious, whatever it may be. You have so many responsibilities that you're juggling. You have to maintain a home, you have to make meals, you have to obviously take care of a little person, you have to be fun, you have to have activities. Like the list goes on and on and on and on. And I'm not even talking about the stuff that I have to do for myself or the responsibilities that I have at my church or just life in general. Like that's a whole other level of things that I won't be getting into on this video. So what is mom guilt? It's something that I personally struggle with every single day. It's always trying my best, but feeling like my best is not good enough. It's wanting to have time alone, but then missing your kids when they are gone. It's wanting a better life for your child, but also feeling guilty about working. It's comparing yourself to other moms that seem to be more patient with their kids. It's having guilt for having other passions other than being a mom. It's having a hard day and still feeling guilty at the end of the day. It's seeing old photos of them and being nostalgic of how fast time has passed. It's feeling that she deserves better than what I have to offer, even if it is my best. And honestly, it shows up in so many different ways. Like I can literally be on Amazon looking for shoes and I'll be scrolling away and then I'm like, wait a minute, my daughter needs sandals. Like, let's look at that. And I look at like 100 pairs of sandals. I ordered like 20 so I can see which one fit the best. And it's just like, I even forgot why I was on Amazon to begin with because it kind of just transitioned into what my daughter needs. It shows up in like, if she doesn't eat food, I take it personally, okay? That's hurtful. Like, why are you not eating my food? Ever. And for example, yesterday, it was one of these days where she just wasn't eating food. And I started like the mom guilt of like, okay, well, you're not cooking good meals. Like, she doesn't like it. This is all your fault. And it kept like snowballing into like all the reasons why I wasn't a good mom. And literally, I was like letting my mind take over. And then all of a sudden, I get a call from a doctor's office because I made an appointment for her to see a specialist. And I was like, I got off the phone and I was like, oh, okay, you know what? Like, I'm not so bad. Like, I'm here trying to make sure she gets the best treatment that she needs. I'm trying to make sure that she sees the best specialist, that, she has the best experience possible. Like, I'm not that bad, right? And then I'm still, even at this point, I'm like going back to the mom guilt, like, but you're not showing up for her and you're not doing these things. And then I hear someone at my door and then I go out there and I open up a package and it's for my daughter. And I have forgotten, like 2 days before, I had ordered like a little sticker book so that she can play during church and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, like I'm not bad, right? Like I'm not that bad. Like I am trying my best. And honestly, as moms, the best is all we can do. And it's not always going to look the same. Showing up 100% of the time is not always, there's like this little graph that I'll put in the screen, but it pretty much talks about like how your best looks different every single day. But as long as, like, if one day you have 20% to give and you give that 20%, that is still your best. That is still all you can give. You've literally given all. We recently made the decision to put my daughter in preschool slash daycare in the beginning of the year. She's going twice a week. And honestly, that transition has been so hard for us. My daughter, for the first 5 months, would cry at drop off every single time. Literally every time. And I would cry too, because I'm like, I'm a horrible mom. Like, why am I doing this? And she's fine. Like, the teachers send me pictures literally 5 minutes later, and she's like playing with kids. So she's good. It's just drop off is a little hard for her. And then last week I dropped her off and she didn't cry. And I was like, okay, I've been praying for this for 5 months now. This is what I wanted. And I see her run to her teacher and give her a hug. And I'm like, okay, I guess you don't have a mother anymore. And I literally, like, I was happy in the moment. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been praying for. This is what I wanted. I'm so glad she's finally, like, happy to go and to learn and everything. And then I got home and I started crying. And I was telling my husband, like, does she love her teacher more than me now? I'm so happy that she's happy, obviously. But even though I got what I wanted, it still hurt. That's how mom guilt works. It's like a double-edged sword. Like, no matter what you decide, you're still gonna feel guilt. All right, so now that we got all of the details out of the way, what do we do to help with the feelings of guilt? So these are some things that have helped me. Is understanding that I can't pour from an empty cup. And I know we've all heard this all of our lives. It's nothing new, but think about this. How in the world am I going to give my all to someone if I just feel so drained and exhausted? Something that has helped me is on these especially hard days where I have given it my all, I am exhausted and it's like 12 p.m. She usually goes down for a nap around this time. And what I used to do is that immediately I'd be like, okay, I have, I don't know, hour and a half to wash all the dishes, to make lunch, to wash the clothes, to fold everything, to put everything away, to do whatever I need to do, right? And on days that I am feeling drained and exhausted, I have trained myself to be like, you know what? All of that can wait. It's still going to be there later. I need a nap. And the reason why this is so important is because if I take that nap and I can actually continue with my day and like give the best that I have to give for the rest of the day, versus if, the dishes are clean, but I'm exhausted, then it's like, what's more important, right? The dishes or mama's health? Also, if you do decide to take a nap, don't feel guilty for resting. That was something I still struggle with this sometimes, where I'm like, this happened to me yesterday. I'm like, I need a nap. And then I go take a nap and I'm like thinking of all the things that I should be doing and I'm supposed to be doing and, whatever. So like, it's not really resting if you're not able to allow yourself to feel like you deserve that, right? And it's not that you deserve it, because it's not like you have to work for it. It's just that it is. You need it and you're going to do it, Another thing that has helped me is giving myself grace, of knowing that I am doing the best I can and that's always going to be good enough. Again, that could look differently on different days, but as long as I show up and do my best, then that's exactly what I can offer for that day. Another thing would be to get help if you can. So for us, it's a little bit tricky because we don't have family nearby at all. So that's kind of another reason why we decided to put her part-time in preschool, was because we don't have the opportunity to just drop her off at her grandparents' house for date night or anything like that. So like, that was honestly the only time that I have to kind of relax, do my own thing, do YouTube videos, which brings me to my next point of finding a hobby. Like, what is it that you enjoy doing? Last month, I went to this art class at our library, and I actually ended up winning like a month free of classes that I've been going to. So every Monday night I am going to these classes, and I'm like, this is so nice that, it's not anything huge, but just having that time and knowing that this is my time, this is part of my self-care routine, and I can just sit back, relax, and just do something fun with no pressure is incredible. My outlet honestly has been making these videos as well. and just having something on the side. And I know some mothers are 100% fulfilled with being a mom, and I love that for them. But I came to the realization that I didn't fit into that category. I am someone that likes to do different things. I like to feel like I'm doing something outside of the home. Another thing that has helped me is reframing certain things in my life. So, for example, in the beginning, I really struggled with the idea of preschool because I felt like a failure as a mom. Like, no one else is putting their kids twice a week in preschool. Like, why am I doing these things? And the amazing part about this was I noticed how she was when I went to pick her up. When I went to go pick her up, she'd be super happy. We would come home, or usually we like try to do something fun before coming home. But then we get home, she's like jumping around, she's like talking. And it took that realization of like seeing how she felt at the end of the day when she did go in, and how I felt when I went to go pick her up. It was like we had these couple of hours to be, separate, and she was in a safe place. Her teachers are all incredible, and I was able to kind of take a little breather, relax, get a pedicure, do things that bring me joy and happiness. Something else that has helped me is the duality of things, right? Like, it's not all or nothing. You can feel two different emotions concurrently. For example, I can love being a mom, which I do, but then I can also not like everything that being a mom comes with, right? And I think being able to understand that it's okay to feel different emotions. It's okay to feel the positive with the negative. It's okay to not gaslight myself and believe like, oh, you're not doing this, then that makes you a terrible mom. Like, no, I am an amazing mom. I know that. I'm trying my best, and just having that acceptance of it's okay to feel negative emotions. I actually made a video a couple weeks ago called Extract the Good, where I talk about how it's not toxic positivity, because nobody likes that. No one likes to be told like, well, you should be enjoying these years and you should be grateful and all this nonsense. It's okay to feel like you're exhausted. It's okay to own up to how you feel and be real with yourself and not gaslight yourself to think that you're not feeling these emotions. And just to wrap up, I think the number one thing that has helped me is knowing that the best way that I can show up for my daughter is when I show up for myself, when I pour into myself, when I give myself grace, when I give myself time to relax, when I'm able to be there and validate my own emotions so that I can be there and validate hers as well. At the end of the day, I think if I'm feeling content with my life, if I'm feeling happy, if my cup is full, then my daughter's cup is also gonna be full. So yeah, that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. I think being a mom is such an incredible experience. It's also a very challenging one. And I think the more we pour into ourselves, the more we're able to pour into our children. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.